from right here in Kalamazoo to speak on behalf of all of the clergy. Pastor Bryant L. Bacon Sr. to speak on behalf of our district, and then Pastor Timothy Troxler to speak on behalf of the Sons. And after Sister Buchanan, I'm going to go sit down.
Pastor Jerry Wilkerson, a friend, a relative, and a pastor. I've known Pastor Wilkerson many years before he became a pastor. In fact, many years before he became an adult, as we grew up in the same neighborhood. I'm a few years older, but I have a sister who's only a day older than he is. Also, before he became a pastor, he became a relative when he married my first cousin, elect Lady Gloria Wilkerson. Everyone that knew him knew that he was a renowned vocalist, and he loved singing. As someone has mentioned earlier, he could be looking down, not feeling well, but give him a mic and let him sing, and he would be a whole different person. Not only did it inspire him, it inspired those who heard him sing. There are many other titles he carried. He was a son, he was a brother, he was a husband, a father, and a grandfather. And the list goes on. And he carried each one of those titles with pride. But in March of 2011, Jerry Wilkerson became the proud pastor of the Friendship Baptist Church here in Kalamazoo. He came in with a lot of energy, and he used it to reignite the energy that had faded out of friendship. For the past, or I shouldn't say 14 years or 14 and a half, we were 2 months shy of him being there for 15 years. He served as the dedicated and dependable preacher-teacher at Friendship Baptist Church. I said preacher-teacher because Pastor Wilkerson was just as excited about Sunday school, and which he referred to as the Biblical Advancement Hour, and Bible study as he was about preaching a sermon on Sunday morning. And believe me, whether it was Sunday school, Bible study, or Sunday morning service, he would preach or teach as if the building was at full capacity. It didn't matter if it was 4 or 5 or if it was 45. The message was always delivered. He was dedicated and dependable because in the nearly 15 years as pastor, before the health issues, he had only missed Sunday morning service at Friendship about 4 times, and not 4 times a year, 4 times in the 15 years. Pastor Wilkerson was always looking to make things better and made every effort to keep the church up to date in all areas. The makeover, as I call it, of the sanctuary and the top-notch sound system that we had, just to name 2 of the things that he spearheaded as pastor of Friendship. And he did love loud music. I'm sure that Galilee and Mount Zion both probably could hear. But because of some of us, the older members, we couldn't take the loudness. He would turn it down a little bit. But he loved his music, and he loved it loud. I'm glad that our friendship was not affected by him becoming my pastor. Pastor Wilkerson tried to have a friend-level relationship with all of the members without tarnishing him being pastor. I know that all who were connected to Pastor Wilkerson are saddened by his passing. We, the members of Friendship Baptist Church, are not excited about what lies ahead. But we are grateful for his teaching and his preaching. and we know that we are not alone on this journey. And this may not be the place to do this, but I just got some information. One of the things that we were dealing with also in addition to our pastor being sick and then passing, is that our boiler furnace has been out since the first part of November. First it was repairable, and then it wasn't, and just back and forth. We just got a call within the last 10 minutes that the insurance company is going to replace our furnace.
Man, this saddens me so much. I'm just finding out this week. No, I don't attend church as much. I haven't been in years, to be honest. But the people that affect my life in a positive way that was there for me to help guide me in the right direction, I always got to give my flowers, show my love, support, and respect. I was baptized by this man. And since I came to Michigan from um, Wisconsin at the time, I believe, or what was that? I believe Wisconsin. I came to Michigan after I lost my sister Angela, who Team Angie was founded off of, late great sister Team Angie, Angela Glenn, Ariel Glenn. That was in 2011. She lost her life. December 6th, 2011, 2012, January 1st or the 3rd, somewhere within that first week. I had committed a crime and was doing time for like 7 months, a year county. During that time, my family relocated to Michigan, and I was in Wisconsin. And I came out here, and that was like late 2012, June or August of 2012. Not long, I had joined this church, Friendship Baptist Church. Was the only church that I attended that I joined here in Michigan, and we done a lot of things as far as like work for the community, um, service and sacrifices, a lot of different things that we were doing as Christians to show the love of Christ, not only to our members, our fellow members, but also our community members as well. You know, reach one, teach one, leave none behind. That's my motto. But also from the leaders that I follow behind, they don't say it, but they show it. They don't want to leave anyone behind by reaching out, making sure that the community has something to eat, some clothes to wear. They do have shelters and stuff like that. We don't have the money or the capacity to house people, but we do make sure that they let them know that they're not alone in their struggles and they are seen. They're not people who's just struggling and we're going to walk past. Let them know that Christ loves them, Christ sees them, and we care. And this man, we done a lot of things for the community. We done a lot of things just as far as being friendship, letting our name be known to the community and to other churches as well. Just a friendly group of people who want to share the love of Christ. And that's what I got from this pastor. I didn't attend it today for whatever reasons, but I'm glad. The situation is what it is. The day and age of technology, everything is so accessible, and it's a good and a bad thing. You know, it just depends on who's in control of power, who's in control of technology, whether they choose to use it in a positive way or a negative way. This is a very touchy time. I don't want to put too much out there, even though it's out there. But as far as what I'm sharing, because I'm not there, and I don't feel it would be right to be there with a camera, and that be the reason. So no, I wouldn't do that as well. Um, it's very cold out today. It's snowing. It's been snowing since last night. I had a lot on my mind. I keep a lot on my mind. I'm trying to shuffle through this thing called life and how to adjust with the changes that happens. You know, people come and go, people pass away, and people are important in our life. You know, we don't walk this journey alone, but hand in hand with others who are headed in the same direction. People who understand our vision and or who have a similar vision that wants to embark on that journey to completion, to have those experiences together, right? Um, my prayers goes out to late great Mr. Wilkerson and his family, his friends, his loved ones, his children. It's a very hard time. I just remember why Not why, but when my grandmother, Miss Glenn, passed away, it was a time like this. It was snowing, it was cold, it was a very, very tough situation. And it was really hard. You know, I seen my uncles in grief. I never seen anything like that. I seen some of my aunties, and it was just a time of strength where we need each other to carry on, you know. And that's the thing about people in general, whether you're a Christian, whether whatever you believe in, if you're a human being, you should know to have compassion, empathy, and sympathize with people who are just trying to make sense of what's going on in their lives, the changes that they're going through. And for some people, they are able to deal with these changing emotions, deal with grief, and come out stronger than ever. Some people, they don't make it. And it is what it is. It's the truth. You know, grief, everyone grieves differently. Everyone's different with how they experience life in general. What up, Goblin? What makes you feel that way if you want to elaborate? I don't think nobody in this world is ugly except for their spirits. You know, you can have a very ugly character, the way that you treat people in life, the way that you interact with people. If you're a negative being, you know, that's an ugly characteristic trait. A lot of people have ugly characteristic traits and they're covered by lies because they don't want to face the truth and adjust to who they are inside. And they're tarnishing the world, you know, tainting the world in an ugly way. I look at it like this, like the world is a fishbowl, a clean fishbowl full of clean water with all positive thoughts. And then when somebody gets to competing with somebody, when someone gets jealous, when someone is envy, that's a little bit of, you can say, debris, dirt, um, sugar, whatever that may be, other than that pure water that's tainted in this fishbowl of life, bringing those ugly sides out to people and affecting other people, right? Just like this right here, I have water in there. If anything other than water comes in here, this is not pure water anymore. I'm drinking a mix of different things. Whether that's good or bad, who knows? But the fact of the matter remain is that it's not as pure as it once was. Whether these little bitty thoughts of negativity transform me all the way or not is what's important. Being mindful of all of the little bitty negative things that you entertain that turns out to change that bowl into something totally different. Just like food coloring or color dye. Once you put a drip of that into some water, it starts to change the whole thing, that full color. That's how bad negativity is and how negativity can change your whole being, making you an uglier person. We all dress ourselves up as pretty people, whether we put on nice clothes or nice shoes, or we put a makeup on to make us look a little beauty enhancements, right? But that doesn't cover up who you are inside. It doesn't make your light shine any brighter than what it already is. People are attracted to light. Light attracts light. And if you have a spirit that's light and trying to become more brighter, right, by being holy, meaning being set apart, having a different mindset than the world, your light's going to shine regardless. As long as you're living authentic to your truth and who you are and not afraid to be who you are, your light's going to shine. That's what I learned from my late great pastor. We are not perfect people. We do have differences. We do not always agree on everything, but nevertheless, we are compassionate people to be able to understand your point of view and to continuously move forward and grab the knowledge that we need to become better individuals for ourselves and for our communities. And that's what overall it's all about. You know, it's not about the disagreements we had. It's not about the vision that we see that's different from you and me. It's about you being happy in life and you making it to that final destination that you're headed in. Whether I can help you get there or not is the thing. And if I can, you know, it's no love lost, it's no hate at all. It's just this journey is not for you. This journey is for me, and or vice versa. You know, not everything is for everybody. Not everybody is going to go with you on your journey in life to achieve and succeed and experience what it is that you desire. Just want to leave you guys a little bit of positivity and just let you know today is one of those days where I will be reflecting, re-energizing myself, and uh, basically recalibrating my spirit just to get through this day and um, just to reflect, like I said, on my life, the people in my life, and the people that's no longer here. Today is January the 16th, 2026, and this is the word for today. Come to me and rest in my loving presence. You know that this day will bring difficulties, and you are trying to think your way through those trials. As you anticipate what is ahead of you, you forget that I am with you, now and always. Rehearsing your troubles results in experiencing them many times, whereas you are meant to go through them only when they actually occur. Do not multiply your sufferings in this way. Instead, come to me and relax in my peace. I will strengthen you and prepare you for this day, transforming your fear into confident trust. And that was written and is inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. And also, it was inspired from the book of Joshua, chapter 1. Excuse me. It was inspired by the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 5 through 9. Enjoying peace in his presence. You can never go wrong. You spend a little time out enjoying who Christ is, getting to know who your creator is, the one that we co-create with. Um, that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Spend a little time meditating, reading my Bible, and seeing what the Lord has for me, getting my daily bread. This is my daily bread, the word that I need for the day to keep me fulfilled, fully fulfilled in my spirit. Just the way that you get filled in your flesh with whatever nutrients you need, the food that you eat, the water you drink, right? To have a healthy spirit, you must nurture that spirit as well, being mindful of the things that you allow to enter you as you entertain certain things. So be mindful of all of this rap, all of this gossiping on the internet, all of the celebrity news, things like that that corrupt your mind, corrupt your spirit, and initially ultimately drains who you are. So where the mind goes, the attention goes, the energy goes as well. With that being said, wherever your energy goes the most, that's what becomes you. That's who you become. That becomes embedded in your DNA. Like this is a prime example, right? You're trying to learn a new habit or gain a new habit, gain new skills. You don't know how to be disciplined to show up to practice. So now that you're aware of that, you're going to go for it. You're going to go learn how to be disciplined. You're going to learn how to practice, right? You join a group, organization, a community, a sports team, whatever, right? To where you have a little bit of responsibilities. And every day that you decide to go up, that's you choosing to be responsible, that's you choosing to be patient, and that's you choosing to practice this new responsibility that you're receiving. So the more that you do it, right, the more that you think about it, like, okay, today I have to be responsible. I have to go practice. You do this within like 7 days, within the 2 weeks. No longer you're thinking about doing it, it becomes automatic. It becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your DNA. You're no longer thinking I have to do this. You automatically get up and do it. And you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Because now this is a part of who you are. It's a part of what you're passionate about. And it's a part of what experience you wanted in life. You're experiencing it now that you don't have to think about experiencing it anymore. It's no grand gesture, it's no grand moment to where this thing happened. It comes over time. And over time, you won't even realize that it happened because it's a part of who you are at this point. It's the same way where the mind goes, attention goes, energy goes as well. When a thought comes to mind and you start to entertain that thought, you start to feel a way about that thought and you act on that thought. And all it takes is 17 seconds. When that thought comes, 17 more seconds, how you feel about it, 17 more seconds, you're acting on it. It's now a manifestation of that experience. And also with that, it goes another 17 to where it's no coincidence, but the way that you were feeling, those vibes, those thoughts that you were paying attention to creates more experiences of that. So if you're focusing on negative thoughts, now you're angry about those negative thoughts. Now you're going to act on those negative thoughts. Not only that, you're having a negative experience. And after that negative experience, more energy comes to manifest more negative experiences. Like you're driving down the road, you have 10 minutes to make it to where you're going to go. Whether make it or not determines on if you're going to be successful or not, and if you're going to actually get where you're going for. Maybe it's a job promotion. They say get here at this time. We'll the interview again for it, and you got it. If you don't make it, the motion goes to someone else. And or it could be they're giving out $1,000 bills, and you're just gonna go there to come up a little bit, whatever, right? But you're only 10 minutes away, and you're in a sports car. You're on your way to go pick up the prize. Now all of a sudden you're catching every red light. There's an accident in front of you. They have a parade going down this side street detour, and now you're just stuck waiting, right? So you figure out how to get back around, and it's like a 20-minute way around. That situation is no accident. It's no coincidence. It's what you manifested by focusing on that type of energy vibe. So those type of situations come to enhance your experience, the experience of what you were already entertaining, those thoughts, that vibration, right? So that's how it works. That's how life works. That's why gratitude is the highest form of manifestation. When you're grateful for things, the smallest things at that, the universe creates situations for you to be more grateful about other things, whether it be small or big. So you might want to just be mindful of being mindful. Be aware of what you're mindful of, living in the present moment. Whenever you sit here and think about the past, you're missing the present. Whenever you worry too much about the future, you're missing the present. That's exactly what this reading was talking about for today. So many people lose their peace because they don't focus on the present with the Christ. They're too busy worrying about the past that they cannot change, and they're too busy looking for a future that's not going to happen because they're not currently taking the right steps and actions to get towards that future. It's nothing wrong with dreaming and being a dreamer. It's nothing wrong at all. The only thing is, if you don't be courageous enough to take action, you're just going to be a dreamer, and that's just that. And nothing comes to a dreamer but sleep. As far as those other dreamers who becomes a manifestation of their reality, those type of dreamers, they have those visions. They don't become dreamers, they become visionaries, and they take action on the things that they have seen. Therefore, they experience those realities more so. But yeah, this is just a little informative video that it is important to take a break in life. You're not successful because you're very busy. You're not successful because you choose to challenge those who are in a higher position. You're successful because you're courageous about taking the next step towards the reality that you desire. And not only that, that you achieve those goals that you set and that becomes your reality. That's success. Success isn't about what everyone makes it about. Success is just going for something and completing something. It could be as simple as a mother wanting to be a mother. Now she has a child. That's success. Someone who want to try a new recipe, they go out and they bake or they fry or whatever the term may be that this food was being made. That's success. So my thing to you is set your goals, achieve your goals, and know that you are successful when you do so. Success just basically differs between who has the goal and who completes the goal. Don't compare your journey to someone else's journey because you don't know if they're happy along the way, if they have the help they need along the way, and or if this is something that's for them. It's just something they stumbled across. Just like if you inherit certain situations in life, right? It's not nothing that you desire, possibly. It's not nothing that you um, even meant to be managing, but it is your situation. Success to me is 90% mindset, the mindset it takes to keep going when you fail. Failure is not a final destination, but it is a part of the experience to let you know you're headed the right way. You just need to switch up the way that you think about it and the way that you take action. I've had a lot of failures in my life. I'm constantly failing, but I had learned to take micromanage my steps. The great Aurelius was given a lot of good quotes, Socrates, and a lot of other people from the way that mindset goes. Mindset to me is 90% success. Success to me is 90% mindset. And the other 10 are skills acquired for those of you who will apply the knowledge to yourself. You want to become a baker, you have to learn what it takes to be a baker. And once you apply those skills to yourself and you actually bake, you're successful. And it's as simple as that. That doesn't mean the journey will be as easy as that, but you never know until you get yourself a try. And I'm all about positivity and vibes, because when you're low vibration, when you're vibrating on lower energy, you only manifest in lower frequencies, which is hate, doubt, envy, greed, lust, lack. None of these things are something to help uplift the mindset, to help uplift your human experience, you as a being. When you're a being in a lower state of mind, you're only experiencing lower experiences in life that lower state of minds be. It's kind of hard to let me try to reverse that, reword that. Okay, like, look, when you're around a den of thieves, you ever heard the crabs in the bucket mentality? And sometimes this is the case. It could be the situation, it could be the place, it could be the people. Not always the people though. So you ever see crabs, right? They get along very good when they're in their natural environment, their natural state. Once you put them in the bucket, they could mess around and kill each other trying to get out of that bucket. They're in a state of chaos, a state of panic, a state of fear. And they get to become jealous, they get to become envy, they get to become all these things that are low vibrational, the things that's lower state of mind thoughts. Think about, they're thinking about survival. That's why when one going up, they'll break the leg down, or they could even die trying to get up out of that state of mind, get out of that situation. And that's how the world is. The world is constantly a big cover for people not to be able to see their ways to the tippy top. So everybody is lying about this, they're doing that, a lot of deception. I don't have to really go too deep in detail on what the world has to offer. And that's when you are viewing the world in a worldly state of mind. But when you view the world in a godly sense, enjoying peace in God's presence by calling on Christ, reading His Word, you start to see the world differently. You don't behave the way that everyone else behaves. You start to see that light come down your way out. It's a miracle that you can fly out of this situation unscathed, untouched, unhurt. Just like some crabs do make it out the bucket. And that's because they have that mindset that's unbreakable, that mindset of the Holy Spirit. And it's important to be filled with the Holy Spirit. You come to Christ, it's the way to become a full Christian. You go first start believing that Jesus is Lord and Savior and He came to die for our sins, and then you become a new creature by getting baptized. And that's the whole thing of it. It's a 3-step situation. Just like if you want to become Buddhist, you would go get I think it's called the Shani. I forget what it's called, but you're gonna set up that tabernacle, right? You're gonna have your altar, um, Gohazen, yeah, it's Gohazen, but everything, right? And you're gonna go into your Bastila. Somebody's gonna be your sensei, basically. You're gonna have somebody that's gonna your handler is what I call it, and you're gonna pay your little fee to go to Gohazen, which is your temple, your altar or whatnot, and you're going to start going back to the temple, to the place that you go and worship. And same way with Islam and any other religions, right? You're going to be initiated into that situation basically. And the thing about that is if you really know the Lord, trust the Lord, and you kind of believe, this is how you get to know. You're going to get His Word, you're going to read His Word, and it's going to set right in your spirit. And if not, you're going to go to something else that you can relate to. And that's just that. A lot of people do what they do because they know what it is that they get from it. Not everybody know Christ. Not everybody know Buddha. Not everybody know, Islam, Muhammad. But what people do know, people do share. And the thing for you to do is to ask questions. You don't just go believe in something because this person said so. You always want to question, and that way you find the truth. You have not because you ask not. If you don't have understanding about certain religions, you need to ask for understanding of God. And if you don't get that, then you need to know that this is the wrong thing to be entertaining, because God is not the author of confusion. There's a lot of different cults and different religions that I tried and I didn't understand it. Therefore, I know it wasn't for me, because my God will never have me confused about what it is He wants me to do and what it is I am to be doing. My job as a Christian is to be telling my testimony on how God saved me. And that's really it. and read the testimonies of others, being around bodies of believers. Where two or more gather, Christ is in the midst. You can have church anywhere and everywhere as long as you know God and you're speaking on God and somebody else know God and they're speaking on God and God is there with you. And there is nothing that you can't do without Christ. You know, we're more than conquerors through Christ Jesus who strengthens us. And that's just my testimony. I've been through a lot. It's a lot to come, but I know that I will make it. And I know that I'll be all right. And I also always pray every night that God will guard my mind, that I won't come into any other spirits trying to um, make covenants with me, you know, come into agreements. And it's very important too that you don't be out here making agreements with any and everybody. Let your no be no, because that's an easy way for the devil to come through and work on your individuality. People don't know who they are. They suffer from identity. You don't know who you are because you open these doors and being people pleasing and not able to say no and not sure if this is something you should be doing. You get caught up in that. You get to drifting far away with that. It's like if you're on a boat, you're not ready to sail out from to sea, but you allow somebody to take your anchor off, and now you're just wondering where will I end? You know, because you don't have any knowledge on how to where to go or how to go or whatever, right? So therefore, let your no be no before you end up in a situation drifted so far to where you're going to need to call on God, because now you really need that guidance to get back home, just like any um, sailor, right? When those seas get a little stormy, when it gets real foggy and they can't see what's going on, they're lost in a sea of worriness. They need that lighthouse to guide them back to shore. So that's the same way with this. When we're in a sea of worry and a sea of defeat, just a sea of life, period. This is our lighthouse to guide us back home safely. And while we're picking up our lighthouse, we're able to have peace. Just like when they were on the boat, it was getting crazy. Jesus was down there trying to take a nap. And they was like, Lord, you just gonna sit here and sleep while we perish? And he was like, told the seas to be calm, to be cool. Wait, yeah, that was one situation, but the situation I'm really thinking about is when Jesus was out there walking on the water. And he was like, yeah, come on, dog. I think that was Peter, who always the curious one who wanted to doubt Jesus and try him. But anyway, he was like, come on. Peter like, oh yeah, I want to do that. And he was doing that. He was doing it quite fine until he started focusing on the problems of the world. As soon as you take your eyes off Christ, that's when you start to sink in this ocean of despair, in this ocean of uncertainty. And that's exactly what was happening. He's getting worried now. This world is so chaotic. But when you know you have Jesus with you each step of the way, you can just simply remind yourself, like, there is Christ, let me focus on Christ. And there he was starting to get back up. Like if he walking up a ladder, he was walking up out of that water. And the more he focused on Christ, he got up out of it and he kept walking on water. Whenever we take our focus off the living God, the living word, we start to drown in this world. And we start to realize that this what the world has for us. It has a heavy load of suffering, a heavy load of depression, a heavy load of defeat. But don't let that be you. Let your testimony be known that you were more than a conqueror through Christ who strengthens us, and that you have made it through the storms. Peace and blessings. And again, I just want to spend a little time with, respecting my pastor, somebody who was, that I know for a fact, was human being and that was trying to save souls and leading people the right way. We have a choice to choose how we live our life. We don't know when our life will be called to come home, when our mission is complete. But one thing we do know is we have a mission to do here on this earth. And our mission is to save other people to be saved so they can have a way to have a way, right? So many people are dealing with generational curses. They think it's just the way the life is. No, you have to break those chains. Somebody had to break those chains, whether it be you, whether it be your child, who knows? But the power is within us. The power to live a healthy and clean life without compromising our morals or values just to be competing with someone else who you think is happy and having a better life. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're going through. And you don't know what comes with what they have. With digital marketing, it's a lot that come with this. You're going to have strangers. You're going to have PCs, people that just come with negative energy that wants your spot, that wants what you have. Maybe they vision you more successful than you actually are. You have to deal with those people as well. But the thing about it is, you have to give yourself a break and cut those people off. You don't just allow anyone and everyone in your space. When you're doing content creating, that's exactly where you're opening up doors to. And you have to let it be known, like, I'm not going to go against my morals or values or who I am to entertain you all. What I do on my channel is I give knowledge, I educate, and that's what it is, and that's what it will be. People come along, they, hey, can you give me a shout out? That's cool, but I'm not going to change what I got going on, switch up my program to please these people, or because somebody want to work with me and steal my resources, and or they watch me a lot and they want to go around me some kind of way just to come back to me to get my permission. Like, it is those type of things. You will have people that you ask for help, you want to collaborate with, and you will have a little consolation. Then next thing you know, that you're blocked from them, but you see them doing exactly what y'all talked about with other people. It'd be crazy. It'd be weird people. It'd be weird situations going on, but this is what comes with it. And also, you will have people like, let's learn this together. We're gonna do this together. Now you done paid to, join their educational situation, and you're learning on your own, and they on to something totally different. It's a lot. It's a lot to come with it. Your mentor might be jealous. They see you coming up quicker than them. They might give you some wrong counsel. You never know, but this is what I've experienced, and this is kind of what comes with it. Not everybody want to see you happy and succeeding. They disguise themselves up like the wolf in sheep clothing and be around you to try to infiltrate what you got going on, infiltrate what you have going on. And you got to deal with a lot of that as well. I had some people from, I'm not gonna say where, but they was doing similar things like that, coming thinking I don't know different languages, which is funny as well because I'm considered a black man and ignorant. As you know how you look at us people, not every one of us the same. We're colors, colorful people, and I have an array of different ways to express myself. So don't be foolish to think that because you think that I'm black that I only react or behave a certain way. And that's what had a lot of people getting cut off as well too, because they thought that, oh, he don't know this, he won't learn this. Well, hey, you messed around and found out how to get cut off. It's important though to protect your peace. Don't be doing everything for likes. I don't give a fuck if y'all like my shit, if you watch my shit or whatever, right? I don't do this for that. Of course, those acknowledgments are nice, but at the end of the day, I like my situation to reach people that's going to help people. They don't always have to like it. They don't always have to share it. They don't always have to comment. As long as I know that their spirit is being untainted from this worldly point of view and from this world of chaos that loves to taint the mind. It's a battle of the mind. That's why so many people have mental illnesses. And some people are just so far gone that they blame it on mental illness, right? Because they lost that battle of the mind and they're no longer fighting. But hey, I'm not here to talk about anyone or put anyone down because to each his own. Some people enjoy those experiences, so they choose to carry on. And I choose to not to fuck with them people, right? Because my choice is mine and I choose not to go that route. But be mindful of trying to save the world because the world is perfectly fine as it is. People who want to be saved, they go and get saved. People who have a nice idea, who have, a bright idea, that's just it. They're going to have bright ideas. But do they actually want to change? I doubt it. So yeah, just be mindful of being equally yoked with people. Just because they talk a good talk, that doesn't mean they lived a good life. We are known from the fruits of our labors. If someone is always complaining negative, they have no fruits because they labor in the wrong way. Their labor is tempered by all of the negativity and they're doing this a lot. But the people who are so focused on the mission, so focused on keeping their lights shining bright, those are the people you see out here all of the time with no recognition, with no praise, with no accolades. They're just here on a mission. And they're not easily wavered from people liking their videos or not liking them or somebody come talking crazy or tarnishing their reputation. A lot of people like to do that. And that's what's going on so much in the world. Even the content creators I started to watch, I see them slowly but surely become worldly, like they're keeping up mess. Like, oh, look at these people was arguing on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like silly stuff like that. Now, oh, I like this person, he was right, or this person was wrong. They're a part of the division, is basically what I'm saying. Then you see these people with the subliminal messages and all that. Like, go ahead, because of the creepy stuff like that. I don't like either. If you're a true and authentic person, you don't have to be doing things in secrecy, right? Because the light of the world shines bright. And if you're not getting the light of the world, then you might as well be hiding in darkness. And therefore, people living in darkness, they're unhappy, they're miserable because they're not themselves. They're not being totally authentic or living a true life. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you doing anything because they're not even being themselves. You have to be careful of those people as well. And they always show themselves. Misery loves company. Misery doesn't sad person, just like never comes to you in his raw state of image. He'll come to you with whatever you desire. That's how it's so easy to be misled. Hey, you go ahead and take this from that person. I got you. You thinking about being praised, he's going to tell you, hey, do this, do that. Go to this witch doctor, go to that person. We're going to basically, we're going to manipulate your free will. My bad. I had a situation going on. I'm about to get ready to get up off of here. But yeah, they manipulate your free will to where your mind's bombarded with so many thoughts, whether it be yours or not, that you can't even focus on having a focus. And all of these thoughts coming in, you're trying to block this, block that, and you don't even remember what your whole purpose was, right? You ever had this happen to you? You go into a room to retrieve an item. As soon as you get to that room, you're like, what did I come here for? And you forget. Then you turn around. As soon as you're about to leave, you're like, oh, yeah, I came here for some ice, or I came for the remote, or I came for my battery charger, or whatever the case. Excuse me. Whatever the case, right? That's the battle of the minds. It's the battle of the enemy. enemy. Well, it's a battle of the enemy. But yeah, I want to get back to this and just see what's going on. Be there for my peoples because um, we are going to have our day, and when my day comes, I will want to be respected, and I will want to be, cared about enough. The sacrifices I make in this world for this world to at least sacrifice a few minutes to put me out the right way, and that's just that. I hope that everybody has that someone to care for them, and they will be justified in being laid to rest properly. For those missing kids, those missing adults, I really pray for them as well that they be found and have a proper, um, closure, whether they're still here or not, that their family will have closure. And these things that I think about, where do the soul go once they leave the body? Are you in a better place? Did someone meet you at those crossroads to help you transfer and, figure this stuff out? Will Jesus tell you, job well done? Or will he tell you, depart from me, for I never knew you, for you never knew me? These are things that I think about, because none of us are perfect. None of us will be perfect, but none of us actually try to be a better person than we were the other day. Some of us are so unaccountable, it doesn't make any sense. Some of us are so stuck in the past and so looking forward to the future that we have no way to change the way that we look at things so that we could be able to experience those things. Some of us are so lost, so far gone that, only thing that's going to be able to get their attention is Jesus Christ himself, whether he incarcerate them, get them sick, or just put them in a situation to where they have to hope. They have to stop. Near death experiences is one of the most ways that people are able for God to even get their attention. And sometimes he'll come through other people that we barely want to look at, the people that we barely want to listen to. But those people are God speaking to you. Be mindful of who you speak to and how you treat people because you never know if you're entertaining the angel or not, and or the devil. But anyway, yeah, people out here playing with spirituality, different deities, different gods. They have near death experiences as well, and then Jesus comes as a form of a lad, a girl, a boy, or whatever, right? And tell you like, hey, let this be your last time, or your last time is going to be your last time. And when they die, they thought it was a joke. Some people are addicted to these lifestyles. That's why it's so hard for a drug addict to get clean, an alcoholic to go sober, because they're addicted to these lifestyles, those demons that use them to go get a high, to get a drunk, to go steal, to go commit adultery, whatever, right? These are spirits that does this for eternity. That's why people are so locked in and they can't lock out. Just like violence, right? A murderer, that's a murderous spirit. The same spirit that first got into Jacob, not Jacob and Esau. I believe so. I can't even remember right now. My mind is kind of being attacked by certain little information, but you know the two brothers, one of them that killed each other. I think it was Esau and Jacob. Wait, was it? But you know when God was like, "Well, your brother," he's like, "I'm not my brother's keeper," because he know he killed him. That's that evil spirit, that lustful, not lustful, but envious spirit, that jealous spirit. That same spirit have a friend of murder. Those three different type of negative energy, negative spirits that will be able to be used to carry out what it is that it wants to do. And this is what it does for year after year. It does it for eternity because when we die, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just transfers to something else, which like these spirits transfer into different bodies. They don't transfer into anything else. Once they get into a body, you're going out killing someone. You're going out being jealous of someone. You're going out being envious of someone because these are the spirits that you entertain when it comes to the thought. They bring you a thought like, hey, we need to be jealous of this person so we can act on it. The same way is with love, the same way is with gratitude, right? These are higher vibrations. Whenever you're looking for someone to share your joy with, when you're ecstatic, you look for someone who's confident to want to be uplifted in those vibrations. This isn't a video that I wanted to make, but it is what it is, and it's out there. And I hope it's something that helps some of you to become a better you, and also to have empathy for people out in the world because someone's having a bad day, someone's having a bad time. Doesn't mean that they're going to have a bad life, and it doesn't mean that we should look down on people or to look up on people, but to have some compassion for that they are human and that their experience is something maybe beyond their control, and maybe this is a way of them asking for help. Maybe this person could be you. Maybe this is why you're experiencing this person in their reality. Who knows, right? But just to be mindful of people and their suffering, especially in this time of year. It's a hard time of year. The winter time is lack of motivation from the lack of life outside. Everything is died down. No leaves on the trees. You can't go out there and plant life because everything is dying in the midst of death all around. It's like where the motivation at? But this is what I do to help us get through these times. You can catch me each day daily. I don't have a set time because you gotta sometimes just do what you gotta do. When I don't feel like it, that's when I go do it the most. And that's when God lets me know, like, I appreciate you for being obedient and do as I need you to do, whether you feel like it or not. I will take it over from here. Job well done. And that's sometimes it's all you need to do is just do the little part, even when you don't feel like it. Like you can see my background, it look like I'm in a storage area or something like that. But no, I'm in a garage. I get up, I come out here. That's why I got this coat on. It is cold. It's not a heated garage, but this is a sacrifice I make to put God's word out there and to inspire his children to become great, become the best that they can be. And I appreciate all the negativity from all of you all as well. Nothing's going to deter me from achieving my goals. Peace and blessings, though. And to the family of friendship, may God be with you. For those of you who are looking for live mentorship, looking to make money online, I have free blueprint. All you have to do is join my email list. I send out newsletters weekly and also the blog, free blog that I created, talkwithangie.blogpost.com. But never to worry, that blog was within the webinar. Not the webinar, but I am having a webinar soon. You might want to sign up for that. It's within a newsletter, the blog. Talks with Team Angie Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're looking for actionable tips and tools to manage stress and anxiety, I have a 7-day actionable plan within them blogs. And then for those of you who are looking for master resale rights e-courses to teach you high income earning skills, step by step, that's what the blueprint is about. So you might want to join my email list to grab that free blueprint copy and check out the programs I have available. Earn while you learn payment plans, so you don't have to worry about breaking the bank to get these high educational skills, these high income earning skills, to learn them from the comfort of your own home through the devices that you have. As long as you're able to spend 2 hours a day learning the 2 hour workday, you'll be totally fine. All you need is Wi-Fi and a cell phone to have access to the PDF files. That's it. That's all. As simple as 1, 2, 3. Easy as ABC. All it takes is for you to be willing to take action and get going on your journey. Started mine a year and a half ago. I started my mission with Team Angie 3 years ago. This year it'll be 4 years and going on coming. Or how it'll be 4 years come September 22nd. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I don't know it all. I haven't knew it all. I just knew that I wanted this to be in my reality, and here it is. So it could be the same as for you. The only difference between me and any of you who want to do this or be in this situation is I tried it, I started, and I haven't stopped. That's the only difference between where I am and anybody who want to be where I am. I just got started and I haven't stopped. The marathon continues. You're gonna take breaks. Uh, you're gonna take a lot. You're gonna take uphill battles, a lot of resistance. It's your experience, though. Don't allow the world to defeat you, making you not even get started before the race even starts, not even participating to go line up. Right. Once you have a thought, a dream in mind, something in your heart, that's you telling you that you can do this, and this is where your future waits on you to go ahead and finish the race. Like I said, where the mind goes, attention goes, energy goes as well. And that becomes a part of your DNA. Sometimes we be in our dream world living a life that we want to live. And it's no different than this reality. All you have to do is just start doing it in this regular world. Keep going. That's you keep telling you, like, yeah, we're doing this in a parallel universe. You want to experience it over there? Let's get started. Hey, look, think about this. Let's think about that, right? Don't shut yourself off before you give yourself a fair chance, is basically what I'm saying. So I'm telling you to go ahead, create a spaceship because you're going to be the real first astronaut. Go ahead. Because everything that you need is already within you, just like Moses. He had the heart to have compassion for those suffering. And then he had the heart to go take action to do something about it when Jesus was speaking to him because God prepared his heart by speaking to him just like he does to each and every one of us. But the difference between him and us is when God's preparing our heart, we don't believe it. We don't believe that God can do anything for us but just be God, and that is. And sometimes we like to play God, and therefore we lose connection to God because we're too busy trying to be Him. We're trying to heal people that God needs to go through that, right? We're deciding who live, who died by the power of our hands, the doctors, the guns, the food, you know what I'm getting at, right? Sometimes you got to let God be God and just know that you can co-create with God, but you can never be God. That's what these scientists are trying to do. That's what a lot of people in power are trying to do. And then mess around, find out that they're not only suffering their own sufferings from the actions, but they're putting other people in their sufferings as well. If the leader isn't right, the tail won't be right. If the head is headed in a direction that's unsafe, the tail is eventually going to follow behind. But if you're a part of an organization where the head you can see head in the wrong way, get up out of that. So you don't tail up behind into that chaotic situation. And like as far as thinking for yourself, this is basically what it's all about. If somebody's telling you something but you're not comfortable with, you're not sure, you're confused, just know that this person is not telling you the full truth, and it's something that you need to be questioning because if it's something that's going to have you confused, something that's going to have you uncomfortable, it's obviously something that's meant to design to trick and trap you. Just being honest, right? And it's obviously something that's leading you astray. But I'm not here to talk about people because we all don't know. We're all trying to figure out the way. We're all trying to figure out this thing called life. None of us really do know. And those who do know, we keep it at our disposal because it's a powerful tool to know. And therefore, some of them may become a hobby and they won't share it for nothing in the world. They want to continue to lead, guide, direct, dictate, and control. It's not everybody, but majority. But if you're one of those ones who think for yourself and you want to be in a community with like-minded individuals who also think for themselves, who are just trying to figure out this thing called life while making money. Money isn't everything, but it's a tool that we need to get through life. Just like food and water. I can't teach you how to make food and water, but I can teach you how to be a high income earner with high income earner skills. And therefore, that's what this blueprint is about. Join my email list. Go ahead, get your copy, send it out right away. Um, Sundays is where I drop out the new newsletter for what we got going on and what you can expect for Team Angie. And you know, if we got a newsletter, not a newsletter, but a webinar going on, that you could be a part of that. But anyway, if you do it on my channel, I appreciate you guys. If you would help me reach my goals, I'm trying to get 500 subscribers, and once I do, I'm doing a giveaway to 5 people. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be on. Nahar LY8YY. Peace and blessings. This for any and everybody, as long as you're one of my subscribers. I send that money out through PayPal, via wire transfer, whatever, however, right? Because I'm a man of my word. I'll be doing giveaways in June with Team Angie. I'll let you guys know more about that as the months progress and we get closer to. But I'm in America right now. Never really left the States physically and haven't touched any other soil. I appreciate all of you out in Russia, all of you out in India, Bangladesh, Africa, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, um, Kenya, Australia. Yeah, peace and blessings. I'm just reading from my daily book of inspiration. I'm putting out positive vibes. You really came at the end of it. But if you just check out any of my lives, any of my videos, I'm all about mental health awareness and all about passive income online through digital marketing. I have Master Resale Right products that teaches you high income earning skills. All you got to do is join my email list to get that free blueprint, earn while you learn, pay as you go programs. We do live mentorship. We meet twice a week for mindset, for tech skills, so you don't have to worry about not knowing how to create content or anything tech savvy, right? I teach you how to use ChatGPT and all of that. I got Google certification for essential prompting. I just completed that course like a couple months ago. So I'm Google certified at prompting. And also, I learned how to create NFTs. It's another digital asset that I have for my portfolio. I do stocks and markets. I own cryptos. So if you want to learn any of that, like I have multiple streams of income, but I'm just basically overall sharing with you the number one, which is in my blueprint for you to sign up and get going with that. This is for anybody worldwide. Wi-Fi wealth with Angie. So yeah, if you're looking to make Wi-Fi money, you know what I'm saying, money online, that's what this is about, passive income online. I have 3 felonies, so it's hard for me to get a job offline. People like to hold my past against me. All of last year, I didn't get not one person to hire me to do anything, not even a dollar store. And it is hard, you know, as a felon, as a black man in America, trying to make a living for myself and my family. I don't get no handouts. The government don't really help do much. They do, but they don't. I do get food stamps, so I'm proud of that. I appreciate it. That, but they do be threatening me about taking it back. Whatever, right? It is what it is. I'm monetized on social media, TikTok, Facebook. TikTok got on some weird shit. They took my videos, they took my money, took my account. So now I'm working on YouTube, on getting that money on YouTube, becoming monetized. So yeah, if y'all want to help me do that, my goal is simple. I'm trying to get 500, and once I reach 500, I'll be doing a giveaway to 5 of my subscribers, no matter where you at. So yeah, and I was also just sharing a little bit of information on my late great pastor who's no longer here with us. Just showing my love and appreciation to him, the type of man he was, and how beneficial he was to my life. Helped lead and guide me in the right direction. I don't go to church, but I am I am a type of guy that love to be around and amongst other people who know God for themselves. I don't like to be around believers because believers are wavery with their faith. You know, if you don't know God for yourself, you never know if you don't get to learn and you don't spend time having a personal relationship. Believers are people who just believe what somebody tells them. They want to go off somebody else's relationship with God, and that's just what I believe. It's what I think to be true. I don't believe a lot of things, so therefore, you know, if you ask me, I would tell you simply, no, I don't believe in much, not much at all. I know things for a fact. I know God, so I don't believe God. I know Christ, so I don't believe Christ. I know who I am. I don't believe to be anything. So that's just that. You know, a lot of people who believe they're easily wavered. Those are the people who, you know, they'll be with you one minute, they will be with you the next minute because they're not sure what to believe. They don't know anything to be fact, and they'll never go fact check anything because they won't ask the questions or think for themselves. And that's just what I've known from people who believe in things. They are not accountable. They believe that they could just go off of believing things and that'd be all right. But hey, that's their experiences. I'm not here to knock you anyway, but you know, go ask questions, go get to know stuff for yourself because my relationship with God is my relationship with God. Whether you believe you can have the same or not, that's on you. I don't know, right? I don't know what you know. You don't know what I know. But what I am telling you is you can have a personal relationship with God simply by reading your Bible, praying before you do, asking for spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so that you can understand what you're reading and not just be aware that you read something. To let this information settle in your spirit so that you can, I want to say dissect this information, but that's not the word that I'm looking for. Basically, so that you can comprehend what you're learning and you can understand it and know these things for yourself. And that's just that. I mean, hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Nair Ly8YY, and also Gobbler. Gobbler, what up, Gobbler? I appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings. Much love from Team Nancy. And happy Friday it is. I get paid every Thursday, so I love Thursdays. My favorite show come on Tubi on the station called Ion. It's on, and I like to watch FBI. It's a That's the type of stuff I like crime TV, true crime, and stuff like that. Right? I watch on Thursdays. My deposits on my cryptos first and foremost. I like to see that money come in, and then I like to go watch my TV show, which I fell asleep on last night watching FBI. It was pretty dope, pretty dope, pretty dope. But yeah, I'm probably gonna warm up a little bit. Like I say, I'm out here in the garage, you know, so I'm gonna do this as much as I can. I'm gonna stay true to my word. And then as soon as I get monetized, we're gonna be resetting our goals. So, you know, I'm just working on my goals. I have other goals as well. And if you guys want to join my 90-day challenges to reach your goals with momentum, this the thing, right? A lot of people want to create content. They be doing well or they don't do well or whatever, right? A lot of people think, oh, you're gonna make a video, that video gonna go viral, and that's gonna be your mail ticket, right? I mean, it's not wrong for thinking that way. You're not wrong for thinking that way, but the truth of the matter is this, and I've noticed this from doing this. It's becoming saturated. Yes, everybody want to work from home, which isn't a bad thing. But the thing about it is, people don't realize like some of them go from OnlyFans to content creator, and they start to switch it up for respect, and they slowly but surely realize like, hey, this is what got you on, so this is what you're going to continue to do, or this ain't going to get you paid. So a lot of people fail to realize that as well. Like maybe I haven't seen you naked on the internet, but the majority of them did. And now that this platform know that you will be willing to go this way to get some likes and views and some comments, they're going to put you on a pedestal. And if you don't continue to do that, you're going to wonder why your views go down, why your money is going down, etc. Right? They push people like that. So don't. That was what I was meaning by what I was saying earlier too, like my morals, my values. I'm not going against it. Whether my stuff move fast or slow, whether I get a view or no view, or like or no like or comment, right? I'm going to keep doing what I do because I know that eventually my tribe will find me. My videos will reach the people that they need to reach, and I don't have to go out here attention seeking, doing stuff like that. And also, I'm not out here dividing people with, oh, join this side or join that side. You know, I'm not about division. I'm not about a lot of that bullshit that y'all be entertained by. Like, you know, I don't care for that stuff. My vibes are being high frequencies. A lot of people like to be negative and vibrate very low. And once they get tired of it, because negativity only attracts negativity, once it's too much for them, they want to switch up the mode. But their payment be like, nah, this is where you at with it. This is where we put you at. And people need to be mindful of that, you know. The way you start might be the way you finish. So be mindful of the way that you start and the way that you put yourself out there. And also it's about being consistent because you did one viral post. The whole world haven't seen it, you know. The whole world don't know you yet. And the whole world may be waiting for more. So you might post something go viral, they come back a couple weeks later and you thinking you're gonna have repeat that success and it might not happen for you. And therefore now all of a sudden you losing a lot of followers, a lot of viewers, because where have you been? I've been doing this for 1 year straight, still doing it. And I was doing this when I didn't have not one view. I still put out videos that nobody have seen yet. But guess what? I'm still doing it. And momentum starts to gain after a while because now I know like what kind of videos I should be putting out. I know what kind of shorts to make. I know what to talk about. Like, you know, and it took a whole year for people to start to come around and check out what I'm talking about, to start viewing my videos. And I'm still doing it. You know, I haven't reached my goal yet, but it's a long time coming and it's a long way to go. Maybe, maybe not. But the thing is, I'm going to continuously do what I said I'm going to do until that change happens. Maybe it might happen overnight. Maybe it might happen in a few weeks. Maybe it might happen in a few months. I don't know. But I won't know until that day comes and then I'll be able to tell you guys because I'm continuously doing what I said I was going to do and what I enjoy doing. And a lot of you guys are looking for a quick come up. I'm going to tell you right now, this could be a quick come up and then again, it might not. But if you don't have any goals, if you don't have any vision on why you're doing this, if it's just to be popular, if it's just to be overnight sensation, hey, you might get there, but that might not sustain you in life. What I'm doing is what I'm happy about, and that's educating people on the love of Christ and also showing people how to put themselves in a position to have money. Money isn't everything, but we need money to live. And also, not only that, to have multiple streams of money coming in, whether it be a lot or a little, as long as you got money, right? What you do with it is important. Teach you guys financial stability and financial literacy. You can have $1 million right now, but if you don't know anything about what to do with money, you're not financial educated. You will quickly lose that position, just like a lot of people. You see your favorite content creator that's broke, that was super popular, and now all of a sudden you're like, what happened with that money? They wasn't financial intelligent. They were actually financial illiterate. They didn't know how to build wealth, but they received wealth that quickly ran down the drain. Plus, they wasn't in position to be in position. You know, they did something for whatever reason. Now they don't know how to maintain that situation. It happens to the best of the both worlds. It's just the difference is some people have a goal on what they're doing. They have a mission on where they're headed, and they continuously down that path. Some people they're only doing this for competition. They realize you don't compete where you don't compare, and your experiences will be something that'll drain you really quick compared to the person that's doing this for a real true reason. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Only the strong survive within when it comes to this. Seen a lot of people doing digital marketing. I seen to be doing really really great before I started, and now they're nowhere to be found. You know, I'm still here. Seen people who started when I started who took off. You know, but hey, I'm still here. I see people of all kinds doing all kinds of things, and I'm not sitting here competing with them. I'm happy for them. You know, I'm happy for their growth. I'm happy if they're happy. I want to connect and collab with certain people. It is what it is, and you know, I'm gonna continuously do me. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people doing this. I'm not here to compete with people. I'm not doing it for likes or views. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what was spoken to me and what I should be doing. Should be walking with Christ each day of my life and getting closer and closer. And the way that I'm doing it is sharing my time spending with Christ with you all, and we all spending this time together. That Christ be in the midst. As I said, where one or two are gathered, Christ is there. And the information that we get is from the Spirit of God. You know, He speaks through you. I don't come on here prepared with what to say and what not to say, but the word gets out, and that's the power of Christ. But may you guys have a happy weekend and safe. Be safe out there when you're out on the roads. It's icy, it's slippery. This snow is coming to make a statement. It's cold as hell up here in the Midwest, especially in Michigan. When it snows, it don't stop. And then a lot of people like to go real fast out here on these streets, you know, real ignorant people. Therefore, I say be mindful and be aware of your surroundings. Don't be out here unprotected on your phones when crossing the street or at the malls and you get snatched up. If you got your kids, keep your eyes on your kids. Don't let them get too far away from you. Go to the bathrooms with them. Don't let them get too far away from you because the predator is all around. You see, they don't care for the kids. Some adults don't even care for their kids. But what I'm saying is be mindful. You know, you see something, say something. Because if not, you're part of the problem. And the world has so many problems. Don't you become one of them. But anyway, peace and blessings from Team Angie. I appreciate you all. Have a safe weekend. Oh, and put your notification bells on because I'm going to go back to where how to defeat distractions, how to be aware of distractions, and how to move forward when these things come, how to notice them and all. Oh, yeah, my bad.